a small man enter an eye, and there's me just doing a boring old lenticule. But hey, you get what you can. But before I begin, I would like to share a little thing. I am in the camp of my dad of putting my eyes where my mouth is, and oftentimes my mouth is with Schwind lasers. And let me just check. 10 days ago, I had LASIK myself. I was +2, -1 in my right eye, which is my only eye. And if we are not willing to undertake the procedures we offer to our patients, do we really believe in them? Now, to present my first in history case, it was a male. He still is, I hope. It was a few months ago, but you know, in these days you never know. 31 years old. He was plano -4 with the corrected distance visual acuity of 0.02 logmar. Post-op day 1, -1.1 logmar, and the software version of ATOS was 1612, which is unavailable to anyone else on the planet. So yeah, a few weeks from now, my friends. This is the Osiris barometry, and everyone here who has that device knows what this screen means. You can see that this patient is 100% plano, that his entire error is cylindrical. You can see that there's no higher orders. You can see the the corneal topography from MS39. You can see the nicely shaped astigmatism. You see the axis. And now comes the less fun part, and that's the surgical case. You can see my settings here were quite tame. They were about 430 millijoule, which is quite a lot higher than what I usually use. But it was the first time I was doing something. And I told the patient, listen, this was never done, not with this laser, but in history. So please understand that if we are a little bit excited and we're squeaking like from excitement. But unfortunately, it was very boring. And I looked at Thomas Wendler. He was with me in the OR for this case. And I said to him, Thomas, this was really boring, and I'm very happy when medicine is boring because it means that it was uneventful. So you can see here my standard technique of opening the lenticule. I go all the way, I swipe up very aggressively. The shape of the lenticule here will be shown at the end, thanks to my surgeon, Maya Bohach, who did my LASIK. She reminded me of using blue to show the lenticule. I don't open the posterior plane at all. I just dissect the top plane first. I'm going quite slowly for my taste, but I don't really know what's at the edges. So here you can see slowly dissecting the top plane, and now I'm going to enter the bottom plane. I try to do it always the same way. It's quite easy, and I have to say that this way of opening the top first and then the bottom ensures that you do not enter the wrong plane with ATOS, as the thickness at the edge is 0. You can see some stickiness, but I would not say that it was a difficult dissection. It was more of me being careful. I'm now reaching the area where I don't have any lenticule. Here on the, I would call it 1 o'clock area, there is 0 thickness. It's very hard to see now, but as you touch it, you feel your spatula just go through. And I'm now finishing off here, just pulling it out. And it's going out. We will check for integrity on the cornea, but due to the eye being quite wet and the lenticule very slippery, it's very difficult to see the shape. So Maya reminded me of the time when we used to do SMILE, how Zeiss taught us to put the lenticule on a blue surface to better showcase its look. So we're going to show you that in a second. So here you can see, this is from CAM, how the ablation would look on a MARIS, and you can see the shape of the lenticule. It's truncated on the tops. And here is the topography with 8 days of difference. And you can see the mass centrally being removed. There is nothing removed from the tops. And that's it. Quite uneventful, but it was a world first. So far I have done a total of 8 such cases. One of them was yesterday. It was a -1 cylinder. And I have to say that the results are so good that Thomas Wendler, after 20 years working for Schwind, finally decided to have his surgery because he was primarily myopic astigmatism. So it can be done, and I think it is the future of correcting corneal astigmatism. Thank you.